I'm a big fan of the movie Back to the Future, so when I heard there was an adult film for this, I was pumping my fist. I set up some popcorn in the microwave, and I couldn't wait to watch this shit. And that's a lie. I was actually very displeased because I thought the film was gonna suck, but I was actually quite surprised because the film ended up being super funny, super bad but good. Good bad it was. If you've seen the movie, this adult parody film is quite like it. They're quite similar, but I would say the adult film was a hell of a lot more funny than it was in the movie. This film, it begins kind of like the movie. It shows Doc's room and, all of his lab equipment, all of his invention, except in this universe, he's the inventor of sex stuff. So all he has is like a bunch of dildos just laying around his room. Like you just the camera's moving, doing the opening credits, like written by, starting by, and it's just showing these dildos just laying around. And then you got this like walking butt machine, like this really small butt that's just walking around. It's like buzzing. I think it like hits the radio or something. So you hear on the radio that a few terrorists ended up taking some uranium, and they're planning on using that uranium to make a giant butt, is what I'm gonna say. But just like in the movie, Doc doesn't end up doing that with the terrorists. No, he makes his DeLorean that can go back in time. So yeah, Marty comes in and she's a woman or a guy with breasts, I don't know. But her name wasn't Marty McFly, it's Marty McDick. What the fuck? And Doc, well, his name is Cock, but we're not gonna call him that. We're just calling him Doc still. Doc shows up and he's like, Marty, I made a DeLorean. And Marty's like, DeLorean? Do you mean just a DeLorean? And then Doc is like, Marty, DeLorean. DeLorean? It's DickLorean, Marty. It's a dick. It's a dick. It's what I made. So yeah, Doc shows the DeLorean to Marty, and it's just the DeLorean, but with a cock on top of it. And instead of doors, they're more shaped as just cocks. So yeah, this DeLorean, it's able to go 88 orgasm per hour, and they go to the parking lot to give this a go, right? And it explains a lot about what it's capable of doing. Like you can, I'm not even gonna get into it. I don't remember what it was exactly, and I don't want to watch it again. So yeah, they're at the parking lot. They're about to give this a go, right? And a bunch of terrorists, which Doc he calls them the lesbians. He's like, oh no, the lesbians, they're here for me, Marty. Get out of here. I don't know how, but they found me. The lesbians, Marty, they found me. So yeah, they show the lesbians coming in their van. That's a terrorist group. They show them coming around the corner, and it does it like 10 times or so, where it's just the van coming around the corner, and then Doc and Marty over there panicking, and it just keeps showing the shot of the van taking the corner. It never goes through like the full road. It never enters the parking lot. It's always going around the corner. And they do a lot of that. Even when they're shooting, they add like these digital shooting effects. And one of the bullets hits Doc in the cock. And the Doc is like, oh no, why did they shot me in the cock? I'm sorry. He's like, they shot me in the cock. So yeah, Doc, he gets shot in the cock, right? And then Marty's like, the van is still going around the corner. It doesn't enter the parking lot. It's like still going around the corner. It just does the same shot over and over again. So Marty needs to have his 80 orgasm an hour, 88 orgasms an hour for her to go back in time. So she does that, and it looks like she's taking a shit. That's what it looks like. She sits on the DeLorean. It's a small DeLorean. She sits on top of it. She starts taking a shit. She does a shitting pose. She doesn't take a shit, but it looks like she does, all right, with the pose that she gives. And then she goes back in time after that. And it does a massive time skip. It doesn't show that she ends up meeting her mom, her dad, or Biff, but it does mention that she did meet them. So yeah, she's like, hey Doc, I'm from the future, and I need help getting back to my time so I can watch Family Ties starring Michael J. Fox, you know? And then it does a time skip. It shows the title. It's like 69 minutes later, you know, after Marty finishes explaining her whole background to him. So yeah, Doc believes her, but he doesn't really want to go back in time until Marty mentions that they have VHS adult film for him to watch. And he's like, what? No way, you don't have that. So yeah, Marty pulls up a VHS, puts in the TV, and starts showing the adult film. But it doesn't work because Marty changed the time. She mentions how she met her mom, her dad, Biff, the soon-to-be mayor, everyone from Back to the Future. She mentions them all. So yeah, now they gotta go fix the timeline because the VHS tape isn't playing what it's supposed to play. And Marty is out there explaining her mother's background and how she poked everyone. She poked this person, she poked that person, she poked Biff, everyone. She was poking everyone. And then Doc was like, oh my gosh, you didn't fuck your own mother, did you? And then Marty looks at the camera and she's like, no, that's illegal, even in an adult film. And I was excited to hear that. I was like, yes, because I thought it was going to lead to one of those jokes where this is the universe where Marty did do her mother, and I was so glad that it wasn't the case. Hey, I know it's fictional, I know it's an adult film, but you know, incest, that's not okay. So yeah, now Marty has to fix the relationship between her mom and her dad, right? And it does a massive time skip again. It shows that they're at prom now, and the dad and the mom, they're having their prom dance. And you can hear the background actors. They're mentioning how Biff and the dad had a dick measuring competition, and that the dad won, knocking Biff out for some reason. So yeah, now Marty's upstage playing the guitar song, and it has like a minute of her doing the solo, and it's a pretty good song. In fact, they recreate the Back to the Future scene where the guy pulls up the phone and he's like, "Hey, it's me, your cousin. You know that beat you were looking for? Well, get ready to jerk off to this." And he puts the phone next to the song, and it's Marty giving, it's just a minute of her playing the guitar. It's a pretty good song that she plays, a really good rhythm. It's such a banger for an adult film, I feel like. And then she starts kissing her guitar because of how much of a banger the song was. And then her hand starts fading away, and she's begging her dad to touch her mom, because that's how, you know, they get made, I guess. I don't know. Wait, you know the scene where the dad looks at his hand getting ready to hit Biff? Well, it recreates that, but with him getting ready to touch the mom. And then the dad finally does it. And then she goes back to playing her song. And yeah, it was great ending from there. Marty goes back to Doc to tell him, but they still need fuel for the DeLorean. And the way to get this is by Jitzawats, I think they were called. They needed some jizz on the DeLorean. And I was like, oh no, how are they going to get some jizz? Where are they going to get that from, you know? So then, like, 30 minutes, that's where the film drops such a massive quality, I think. The film, it just gets kind of weird. Too weird that YouTube's not even gonna like it if I show it. But it's 30 minutes of them going at it. And then after that, Marty was able to go back to the future. And, but Doc, he still gets shot in the cock. You know, that's what I was thinking at first, until it's revealed that he had a protector down there, like a bulletproof armor for that area for some reason. And then Marty's like, how did he know to do that? And then he just pulls out a fucking condom. Why? What does that explain? Always protect your crotch? I don't know. He just pulls out a condom. He's like, then he looks at the screen. They both look at the camera. They both look at the camera. And that's where we get the end credits of the whole film. And it was goofy. It was so silly. And you know the one song, the Power of Love, that plays in Back to the Future? Well, they do their own parody of that song called the Power of Come. Yeah, so they played that, and that's the end credit. In fact, they play the whole song even after the end credits. And I'm so glad they did that, because I wanted to hear the whole thing. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I I had to listen to it through there. So, and also I forgot to say the studio behind this film, they had other bangers. You know Hellraiser, they had Cockraiser. You know Pokemon, they had Stroke Emon. Hang on. I typed this to my friend. Let me pull up the messages so I can tell you guys. Yeah, they got Dick and Morty, SpongeBob SquarePants, Bob's Burger, which is Bob's Boner. You know Aladdin? They have Aladic. They had Dragon Boob Z, and I think it was Boo. And for some reason, they had Hamilton as a parody, but they called it Hamoto. It's I'm done. I'm done. Anyways, it was a great film. I gave it like an 8 out of 10 if it wasn't for like the 30 minutes of, you know. And yeah, I thought this was goofy, so I thought I should share it with you guys. Thank you for watching, and be good people.